The year is 1984.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through the bad 1984 comparisons, guys. It might actually be too much for me. I'm already on the brink. I'm about to break everything you say to me. Okay. 1984 is one of my favorite books, and it's constantly misinterpreted by conservatives.
One company, Microsoft, dominates the computer world. It's their way or the highway. Conform or die. This snapshot in time was perfectly captured in one of the most famous commercials in TV history. Set in a gray dystopian future, row after row of men stare blankly at a giant screen from which Big Brother, the all-powerful leader from George Orwell's classic novel 1984, addresses them. Suddenly, riot police burst into the hall, chasing a beautiful blonde woman in a white shirt and red shorts. Before they can grab her, she hurls a sledgehammer into the screen,
that was the weakest throw I've
shattering
ever
Big
seen.
Brother and his grip on the masses. The narrator informs us that Apple's breakthrough product, the Macintosh computer, will be the device that sets us all free.
So the first minute of this 5.5-minute video is just describing a famous Apple advertisement from 1984. It says a lot about your political beliefs when they're so simplistic that you intro them by spending 20% of the length of your video describing an advertisement that aped the aesthetics of a book and relating it to your, political beliefs.
Looking back, Apple largely lived up to its promise. A new wave of companies, each in its own way, followed the example set by Apple's legendary CEO, Steve Jobs.
This is so wide.
Google gave us instant access to vast amounts of information. Facebook gave us a new way to connect with friends, family, and the world. Twitter brought this world to us in real time.
What are we doing right now?
And YouTube allowed anyone with a smartphone to become a virtual broadcast network onto themselves. It was glorious and empowering.
This is so this is the kissing big business's ass before we say then they've gone too far. Okay.
But that was yesterday.
Oh.
Today, it's 1984 all over again. Big Brother's back.
Do you remember when in 1984, Winston would go to the Ministry of Truth and he would listen to the higher ups deliver him. He would get the information through those those pneumatic tubes that would send notes to him where he had to make corrections. And one of the corrections made was "Hey, listen, Brother Winston of the Ingsoc, remember, okay? We have a policy where if anyone says overtly racist, sexist, homophobic, or hateful content, regardless of their political beliefs, that they should then be banned from the platform. And we can do this because instead of a government agency, we're actually a private agency, a private company with the right to determine who uses our platform. So make sure to ban those people, and they suffer no other consequences elsewhere in their life. They just get banned. They can even make another account if they want, really. It doesn't get moderated that well, whatever. And to sum it all up, yes, we are totalitarians. Does anyone remember that from 1984? Because the parallels here are so fucking shaky that even the attempt to draw a comparison casts doubt on the credibility of any argument being made here. But let's hear the fucking argument.
Then important twist. Our former liberators now want to be our masters. Apple, Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, the giants of social media, are demanding conformity to their values. It's their way or the highway.
Demanding conformity to their values is a funny way of saying you have to adhere to rules if you're going to use our platform. Same as literally every other private space. A restaurant can kick you out if they don't like how you're behaving. A hotel can move you out if they don't like how you treat their room. And a tech company can say you're no longer allowed to use their platform if you engage in behavior which violates their terms of service. This is in line with literally every other business's rights, ever. And what happened to the conservative dogma here? If you don't like it, why don't you go make your own company? That's what they said to all of our criticisms of big tech. If you don't like the fact that they're stealing your data, go make another company. If you don't like the fact that they're like exploiting their workers, go make another company. If you don't like the fact that they're like working with the Chinese government to encourage censorship of their people, go form another company. So conservatives, what, did you bitch out? Is it hard to start a multinational tech conglomerate? You made it sound easy before.
Conform or die. This image is perfectly captured not by an ad, but by this recent real-life scene. Row after row of men and women
Real-life scene? What?
stare up at Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, as he makes a presentation, ironically before a civil rights group. We only have one message for those who seek to push hate, division, and violence. You have no place on our platforms, Cook tells his audience.
And then you frame as a bad thing. A person steps up on the stage. Racism is bad, and we don't want racists using our privately funded platform. The conservative shook in anger. The contradiction. They want to jerk off the capitalist business owner, but they also really, really want to hate black people. A solution had to be reached.
You have no home here. Hate? Division? According to whom? The answer is obvious. According to Apple, Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yep, as is their right as a private company. 100%, yeah. In the same way that a restaurant gets to determine what no shoes, no service means. For some people, it might be literally barefoot. For some, it might mean like flip-flops, you're going to get booted out. For some hotels, poor treatment of their rooms might mean letting a cigarette burn on the like wooden table. And for some, it might mean like throwing like framed paintings against the wall to watch the glass shatter. The terms of service for participation in a private industry's platform is, and always has been, set by the private industry. I disagree with you here, Vosh. I'm sure you do. There are problems with the overreach of big business, but those problems aren't because their TOS bans people who disagree with the company platform. That's not the problem there. The problem there is a very, very fundamental look, or we can take a fundamental look, at the issues that capitalism has when it comes to consolidating power into corporations. And now that more and more people are relying on the product of corporations to leverage like their physical and technological space, online, in person, how it's necessary to be able to use Google to basically live in society these days, how YouTube is basically like an essential platform the world needs to get by. I don't want to get by without YouTube anymore. I need my fucking YouTube. Okay? There are problems. And those problems should be examined, but those problems have at their root capitalism to look at, not TOS. And consolidating these into public utilities for the sole and only purpose of protecting bigots who are interested in having unrestricted public access to spread their propagandistic messaging. This is not the avenue with which we should consider the public consolidation of utilities. What this really is fascism. One of the literal definitions of fascism in an economic sense is the consolidation of of corporate and government power to collaboratively oppress the working class. One of because if any solution is to be reached here, it wouldn't literally be making like Google publicly owned or like the government just captures it. It would be some kind of collaboration between the government and between Google or YouTube or Facebook or what have you, where policies would be set in place by the government, which they would have to adhere to, and they would collectively set quotas or mandates which would be required for them to allow their... It's similar to how the government right now works with the transportation industry. This consolidation is being done exclusively to promote the interest of fascists, and it is in and of itself a tenet of fascism. This is not a coincidence. The people pushing for this, people like Steven Crowder or Tim Cook or James Alsop or Ben Shapiro are either fascist or fascist adjacent. So it's not exactly surprising to me that this would be the avenue they take, the road they decide to go down to address their concerns with the overreach of private industry. Do not allow what may on the surface seem like a couple of legitimate criticisms of the overreach of big corporations let you buy into this nonsense. Why aren't they doing the same horse shit they were doing the past few decades when people had problems with corporations? You know, just go and make your own? Why didn't they take this gung-ho approach to dealing with tech overreach then? The reason, of course, is because it's politically expedient for them to do so now to protect the interests of people too racist to exist on these platforms, and it wasn't then. It's that simple. Don't buy into it, my friends. Please do not. There are better ways to help free speech. There are better ways to ensure the right people get to say the right things. Ain't this.
They are becoming the Big Brother Orwell foresaw.
Well, Big Brother was actually the supreme authoritarian leader of a totalitarian state, not a set of tech companies that you can choose to not use and even promote competition towards. But okay.
Conform or die.
Who's dying? These fucking drama queens, dude. Fuck me.
Cook's ideas are exactly the same as his fellow chief executives at Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Disagree with Big Brother on, say, politics or morality, and Big Brother will
conservative
up.
Conservative male tweeting socialism never works. Listen to this. This is the people you're agreeing with right now. Look at this. This is so fucking dramatic. These corporations are like, hey, we have a set of TOS policies, and if you violate them, you'll get banned. And they enforce them more or less consistently. It's never perfect. Too many people use their platform for it to be moderated perfectly, but more or less. And now they're like, all of these hive mind robots have the same plan in mind. They will kill you if you do not conform to their values. They use tech drones to watch you from their window. And if you have an XY chromosome and you start tweeting things against socialism, they send in the killbots. Like, holy fuck, dude. These guys are crazy. This is so dramatic. This is the bitchiest baby in the universe couldn't come up with this.
By shutting you down. And what is it that Big Brother doesn't like? Well, Tim Cook said it. Anything that doesn't conform to his left-wing worldview.
Do you see right there? Left-wing worldview. Left-wing tech giants. Leftist. Oh, I said Tim Cook instead of Tim Pool. Yeah, I meant Tim Pool. Leftist tech CEOs. See, if you're going fascist, run-of-the-mill capitalists are going to start to look pretty left-leaning to you. PragerU is a fascist channel. Don't let this blow the cap of your skull off. Oh, how could they be fascist? You call everything fascist. They are. They're not just capitalist conservative. They go far farther than that. This is instilling distrust in corporations who regulate a very sensible TOS policy because it disproportionately affects conservatives because they're more racist and many other problematic things to be. And they're doing so by wildly misinterpreting a famous piece of anti-authoritarian literature.
The examples are numerous and growing. Meghan Murphy, a Canadian feminist, is permanently banned from Twitter for refusing to refer to the transgendered by their preferred pronoun and for writing, "Women aren't men."
Yeah. I'm familiar with this specific case. She is a transphobe and encouraged transphobic harassment. Listen to this shit. Like, all she said was women. I bet she didn't say anything else. Here, hold on. A radical feminist blog and podcast. Her writing critiques third-wave feminism, trans rights, the sex industry, and exploitation of women in mass media. Yeah, so a radfem, a.k.a. a transphobe. Trigger warnings amount to censorship. Questioned whether men can be feminists. Criticized liberal feminism. Yeah, this is like a pretty standard like TERF profile right here. Opposed Bill C-16, which encoded gender identity and gender expression in Canadian law. Yeah, she's a TERF. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I like how this like contradicts their own point, because they're making the argument that only conservatives are being targeted by these big tech companies, but then they're like, even this feminist gets targeted, and then something is shown to indicate she's not that left-leaning at all. You can't really claim that their overreach is so great that they're targeting left-leaning people, and then say the left-leaning person they targeted got targeted for saying something right-leaning.
Google, Facebook, and Twitter all at various times refused to carry political ads from Tennessee Republican candidate Marsha Blackburn promoting her conservative views. She's
Damn, this bitch got a long Wikipedia. What was it, YouTube? Was it YouTube that wouldn't run her shit?
All at various times refused to carry political ads from Tennessee Republican. Google, Facebook, and Twitter all at various times refused to carry political.
Google, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm not seeing any drama about it on this page. I can't really critique this point if there's nothing to look at here. LGBT voted against repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Opposes same-sex marriage. Yeah, okay, pretty much what you'd expect.
Promoting her conservative views. She's hardly the only one this has happened to. And as many of you know,
notice how nothing even close to an argument has been presented. PragerU videos are like as good as you can get at presenting feelings and opinions as facts, because all they've said so far is, there was a book that opposed authoritarianism, and now they're the authoritarians. They'll ban you for saying anything bad. Look at what this feminist said. Men aren't women. That doesn't have any underlying political connotations. Or there are probably no other statements that accompanied that one, nor any political values which violate their TOS. You'll be killed. You'll die if you don't go along with their policies. Here's one lady who ran for the Congress. Somebody wouldn't take her ads. No sources provided. Fuck, there's so little of substance to dig into in these fucking videos, you know? It's boring. Now I remember why I wasn't doing fucking PragerU. 'Cause it's fucking boring. What am I supposed to get at from here? There are no arguments. There's no source. There's no data. It's just really fucking overdramatic whining boiled down into 5 minutes by a propaganda network funded by billionaires. That's it. That's it. What am I supposed to take from this?
YouTube continues to restrict over 100 of PragerU's videos, finding them inappropriate for children.
Wah! You poor babies. Your ads got restricted for your extremely far-right political Oh no! How horrid! Well, surely it only happens to you. It's not as though they do that ad restriction on literally all videos with political content. How unfortunate. Truly is PragerU the victim of long-standing oppression. Never before has a political channel been subjected at any point in history to demonetization due to political content. Incredible. Damn, PragerU. How do you do it? How do you rack up all them fucking yellow dollar signs, my dude? Every single one of my videos, guys. Literally every single one. Actually, I think if we go a little bit farther back, every once in a while a video slips through, a video of mine, that doesn't get taken down for limited advertisements. Viewer call-in stream, me playing video games, and me testing my website for 56 minutes. There we go. In the last 50 videos I've made, these 3 got full monetization. Full screen your browser, I can't see shit. You fucking babies. Steven Crowder did this exact same shit. Steven Crowder made the Sonic video. The Sonic video may have also gotten it to go. Let me see. Steven Crowder also did this shit. They whined like, all our videos get demonetized. Dude, it happens to all fucking political videos, you stupid pieces of shit. You have to really tread the line. I don't like it. I mean, I like making money. Funnily enough, the Killstream VOD, the only VOD in which I said the N-word with a hard R, the VOD in which I argued with literal Nazis who did what I call, quote-unquote, kike posting, that one got a green stamp. So, I'm not entirely sure what their filters are up to. I don't really know what they're going on about over here. Let me see if I can find the Sonic video. Oh, right. The Sonic video just didn't get isn't eligible for monetization because the copyright claim, because of all of the fucking shit that I watched on it. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Same with this PragerU video, apparently. Whatever the case is, this whining about PragerU, like, in my mind, if you're making a video like this, and even a single one of your claims is like pathetic, whiny bullshit that can be easily debunked or disproved, that invalidates the entire video. So, alongside all the other bullshit in this video, why is PragerU making a big fuss about their ads being limited when A, they're funded by billionaires, they don't need the money, and B, it happens to literally fucking everyone.
These include titles like, Why Did America Fight the Korean War? Broad-based studies by the American Institute.
Yeah, political content like war. The term war, I'm pretty sure, will get you demonetized.
For Behavioral Research and Technology, and by Northwestern University have confirmed what these examples clearly suggest: bias against conservatives at Google and other big tech sites.
Source? You can't just list people saying they agree with you and say they've confirmed your fears and then not give a fucking source for it.
And this is the bias we can...
Also, that bias is not necessarily unjustified. Conservative people are on average far more racist. If TOS policies prohibit racism, conservatives are going to be biased. There's going to be a bias against them in that program. That's not an unfair bias. That is a fair bias. A reasonable one, in fact.
Can plainly see. What we don't see, what Big Brother hides from us, what is referred to as shadow banning,
so
may be
dramatic.
even more pernicious. If you're on the left, maybe you're okay with this. But if you're not on the left, or even if you are and you revere the First Amendment...
Oh! Nice one! The First Amendment has literally nothing to do with private companies and their TOS. Ooh, I thought PragerU got the constitutional scholars out for this one. He didn't just say free speech. He said the First Amendment. Nothing in the First Amendment says anything about being protected, having your free speech rights protected in the purview of using the services of a private company. Only that the government cannot infringe upon your rights, not that private corporations cannot in their own spaces. Very easy reading of the Constitution, and yet, to this day, I still see hundreds or thousands of conservatives acting as though this is a First Amendment issue. I'm sorry. I thought you guys liked the Constitution. Why am I, an anarchist who doesn't give a fuck about the Constitution, more familiar with what it means than you are? Because that's some embarrassing misunderstanding right there. That's fucking sad.
You should be concerned very concerned. We are advancing swiftly toward an Orwellian 1984 world of stifling
Rack up them
one way of
buzzwords.
thinking conformity. This time, it's not a fictional story. It's real. What's the solution?
So wait, let's go over all of these, right? So the
It's not
fucker
a
in the
fictional
top
story.
left opposes... Wait, we go over all of them. This one
Toward an
opposes
Orwell-
illegal immigration. Have you ever seen anyone on public platforms banned for opposing illegal immigration? No, it's usually for calling the people who are coming up like spics and like wetbacks who like are pieces of shit, you know? And like railing against them and saying they're subhuman. I see people getting banned for that.
1984 world of stifling one way of thinking
Likes conservative news. Oof, I've never seen in my entire life anyone get banned from social media for liking conservative news, even though honestly, I wish they would, but I've never seen it happen.
This time, it's not a fictional story. It's real.
Oh, wait, what was
What's
it for
the
that
solution?
one?
Simply return to the
Watching PragerU on YouTube. Ah, yes. I remember early 2019 when Google rolled out the fucking account bans for people who watched PragerU on YouTube. I remember those days.
open market of ideas.
Oh, retweeting Donald Trump down there in the bottom left. Do you remember that? Do you remember when you retweeted Donald Trump and then your Twitter account got banned? I remember that. That fucking happens to all of us, doesn't it? In fact. Notice how every single thing here is something for which nobody gets banned. That's because the actual reasons people get banned usually tend to be threatening and harassing trans people, telling gay people to kill themselves, saying black people are subhuman and have lower IQs, talking about the Jewish question. This is usually what gets people banned. Remember those Turning Point USA videos? The one of the chapter leaders rolling in the dough and like, hey, this is white America, fuck N-words, fuck N-words. We own this place now. That's kind of what I mean here, you know? Conservatives aren't getting banned for being conservative. They're getting banned for being bigots, which is well within the TOS policy of the corporations whose platforms they're using. And if you think there's an intrinsic link between being conservative and being a bigot, as I do, well, that seems more to me like a problem with conservatism.
That served big tech so well for so long. Stop the censorship and let people make up their own minds. Otherwise, America.
Yeah, I agree. We should let people make up their own minds, including the corporations who have every legal right to cultivate their platforms.
And the rest of what has been known as the free world will cease to be free. That's how serious the big tech threat is. I'm Brent Bozell, founder of the Media Research Center for Prager University. Thank you for watching.
No solution was proposed at any point in this video. In PragerU videos, don't they normally stop and say, what can we do about this? They didn't do anything here. They were literally just like, tech companies are ban happy. Media Research Facility?
University. I'm Brent Bozell. That's how serious the big tech threat is. I'm Brent Bozell, founder of the Media Research Center.
Media Research Center. Liberty Sheeny, you've passed the stupid threshold. Get ready. Get ready. Farewell, friend. Godspeed. All right, what was it called? The Media Research Center. An American nonprofit media watchdog for politically conservative content analysis based in Virginia. Its stated mission is to expose and neutralize the propaganda arm of the left, the national news media. All right, cool. So typical, like, fascist, fucking delegitimize media agencies because they don't conform to your political bias. Amazing. Reports on the media. All right, so it's like a watchdog group. This is a pretty small Wikipedia page, honestly. I'd expect more. On December 22nd, 2011, Media Research Center President Bozell appeared on Fox News and suggested the United States President Barack Obama looks like a skinny ghetto crackhead. Uh-huh.
I need you to acknowledge the fact that the man in the video before this, his name was Brempo Zell.
The last one?
Yeah.
The second one we watched.
This one.
This one. His name is Brempo Zell?
Yeah, that's what he said, and you missed it. Brempo Zell.
The year is 1984. Breakthrough product. And the rest of what has been That's House Research Center for Prager University. I'm Brempo Zell, founder of the Media Research.
Fuck me. His name's Brempo Zell.
You had to know.
Oh, yeah, this is the guy who called Barack Obama a skinny ghetto crackhead. Bozell, my man. He founded this back in 1987. This dude's been grifting for 30 years. 32 years. Brent Bozell III. It's Brent Bozell, not Brent. Nope, it's Brempo now. It's Brempo Zell.
Brempo.
All right, listen up, guys. Never forget Brempo Zell called Barack Obama the N-word on national news. Never forget. This is our 9/11, okay? Never forget.